My sister didn't just steal my husband, she stole my entire life. And the worst part? I handed it to her on a silver platter. Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, and I need to tell you this story because I'm still trying to figure out if I'm crazy or if my family really is that twisted. 3 months ago, I thought I had the perfect life. A loving husband, a beautiful home, and a sister who was my best friend. Now, I don't even know who I am anymore. You know that feeling when everything you believed about your life crumbles in one single moment? That's exactly what happened to me. But here's the thing, it wasn't just one betrayal. It was layers upon layers of lies, manipulation, and deceit that went back years. Let me paint you the picture. My husband Jake and I have been married for 5 years. We met in college, and it was like a fairy tale romance. He was the quarterback, I was the honor student, and somehow we just clicked. My younger sister Emma has always been, well, let's say she's always been the dramatic one in our family. Emma is 2 years younger than me, but she's always acted like she was entitled to everything I had. Growing up, if I got a new dress, she had to have one too. If I brought a friend home, she would charm them until they liked her better. But I always thought it was just sibling rivalry, you know? When Jake and I got engaged, Emma was my maid of honor. She helped me pick out my dress, plan the wedding, and she even gave this beautiful speech about how happy she was for us. I thought we were closer than ever. Looking back now, I can see the signs I missed. The way she would linger when Jake hugged her goodbye. The way she always had an excuse to come over when he was home. About a year ago, things started feeling different. Jake began working late more often. At first, I didn't think much of it. He's in marketing and his company was expanding. But then I noticed he was getting texts at weird hours. When I asked about it, he'd say it was work stuff. Emma, on the other hand, suddenly became very interested in my marriage. She'd ask these probing questions like, "Are you and Jake still happy?" Or, "Do you ever think about what you'd do if Jake cheated?" I thought she was just being a concerned sister, maybe watching too many soap operas. But then, weird little things started happening. I'd find long blonde hairs in my car, and Emma has long blonde hair while mine is brown. Jake would mention restaurants we'd never been to together, then quickly change the subject. One time, I found a receipt in his pocket from a jewelry store. When I asked about it, he said it was for a client gift. You guys, have you ever had that gut feeling that something is wrong, but everyone around you makes you feel like you're being paranoid? That was my life for months. Everything changed on my birthday 3 months ago. Jake had planned this elaborate surprise party at our house. All our friends and family were there, including Emma. The party was perfect. Almost too perfect. Around midnight, after most guests had left, I went upstairs to get my phone charger. That's when I heard voices coming from our guest bedroom. At first, I thought maybe someone was looking for their coat or something. But as I got closer, I heard Jake's voice. And then I heard Emma's voice, and they weren't just talking. I stood frozen outside that door for what felt like hours, but was probably only seconds. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might explode. Part of me wanted to burst in and catch them red-handed, but another part of me, the part that was still in denial, hoped I was imagining things. So I did what any rational person would do. I knocked on the door. "Everything okay in there?" I called out, trying to keep my voice steady. There was scrambling. Then Jake opened the door, looking flustered. "Oh, hey babe, Emma was just, she wasn't feeling well. Too much wine, you know." Emma appeared behind him, fixing her hair and avoiding eye contact. "Yeah, I just needed to lie down for a minute. Thanks for letting me use your room." She pushed past me and practically ran downstairs. I should have confronted them that night, but I didn't. Instead, I started playing detective. I checked phone records, followed them, went through Jake's things. What I found was worse than just a simple affair. They had been together for almost 2 years. 2 years. But here's the kicker. It started the week after Emma's boyfriend broke up with her. She had called me, crying, saying she felt so alone and unwanted. I invited her to stay with us for a few weeks to help her get back on her feet. I found text messages going back that far. Messages where Jake told her he loved her. Messages where Emma said she deserved to be happy too. Messages where they talked about how to handle me. Handle me. Like I was some obstacle in their path to happiness. But wait, it gets worse. You know that jewelry store receipt I found? It wasn't for a client gift. It was for a promise ring. For Emma. And she was wearing it. Had been wearing it for months, and I never noticed because she wore it on her right hand. The most devastating part? I found emails between Emma and our mother. Our mother knew. She knew about the affair and was helping Emma plan how to tell me. In one email, Emma wrote, "Sarah has always had everything handed to her. For once, can't I have something she wants?" My own mother responded, "Just be careful, sweetheart. Sarah has always been the sensitive one." When I read those emails, something inside me just snapped. All those years of trying to be the perfect sister, the perfect daughter, the perfect wife, and this is what I got in return. My family conspiring against me. I printed everything. Every text, every email, every photo I could find. Then I drove to Emma's apartment. She wasn't home, but I knew where to find her. She was at our parents' house for Sunday dinner, the same Sunday dinner I was supposed to attend. I walked into that dining room with a folder full of evidence and slammed it down on the table. "Before we say grace," I announced, "I think we should all be honest about what we're thankful for." The look on their faces was priceless. Emma went white as a sheet. My mother started stammering about how they could explain. My father, who apparently was the only one who didn't know, looked completely confused. I looked Emma straight in the eyes and said, "Are you thankful for my husband? Because apparently he's been yours for 2 years." The screaming match that followed was epic. Emma tried to justify it by saying, "Jake was never really happy with me." My mother tried to say they were protecting my feelings by not telling me sooner. Jake, who had shown up looking for me, tried to say it just happened. I told them all exactly what I thought of them, using words I didn't even know I knew. Then I walked out. The divorce papers were filed the next week. Jake didn't contest anything. I think he was just relieved it was finally out in the open. But here's what really hurt. Half our friend group took their side. They said Emma and Jake were truly in love, and that I should be happy for them. Emma had the audacity to ask me to be her maid of honor when they get married next month. When I said no, she cried to our mother about how I was being selfish and vindictive. My mother called me and said, "Can't you just be happy that your sister found love?" I've had to cut contact with most of my family. It's lonely, but it's better than pretending everything is okay. I've started therapy, moved to a new apartment, and I'm slowly rebuilding my life. The hardest part isn't even the betrayal itself. It's realizing that the people I trusted most in this world saw me as dispensable. They made plans for my life without me, then acted like I was the problem when I got upset about it. Some days, I wonder if I'm overreacting. Maybe I should just forgive them and move on. But then I remember those emails, those text messages, that promise ring she wore to my birthday party while sleeping with my husband. So, here's what I want to know from you guys. Was I wrong to cut them all off? Should family forgive family no matter what? Because honestly, some days I miss my old life so much it physically hurts. Even if it was all a lie, my therapist says I did the right thing, that I deserved better than people who would betray me so systematically. But part of me wonders if I threw away my entire family over a man who clearly wasn't worth it anyway. What would you have done? Would you have tried to work things out? Or would you have burned it all down like I did? Because I'm still figuring out how to move forward from here. And here's the really scary part. If they could lie to me for 2 years about something this big, what else don't I know? What other parts of my life were built on lies? Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Have you ever been betrayed by the people closest to you? How did you handle it? Because right now, I could really use some advice from people who understand what it's like when your whole world falls apart. Maybe your story will help me figure out if I made the right choice. Or maybe it'll just help me feel less alone in all this mess.